this out. I'm going to say this straight up. Calling the whole Epstein thing now a Democratic hoax is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. You pushed it. Kash Patel pushed it. J.D. Vance. Let's not forget Dan Bongino. There was always questions, no doubt. But the closer that people thought, well, we got to the truth, the weirder shit got. And then for you to come out there today, it's like, it's all a hoax. None of it's real. It's a Democrat's fault. Blah, 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 blah. Absolute bullshit. 100%. These ladies, many of them unseen, many of them don't want any part of this, but feel compelled that they need to come out. Why? Because nobody else is going to. Nobody else is going to for them, and nobody else has. And it's bullshit that you would sit there and say, it's a hoax, it's not real. That's crap. That is absolute crap. So earlier today, everybody but Fox carried it. Trump, I guess, put out some sort of edict. Thomas Massie posted it that, if you vote in the way, because they voted for something today, but it's one of those bullshit votes. Well, Jen, that's a lot of bullshit. I know, right? It's like filling up everywhere. This vote essentially goes, we're going to now do a deep probe into this rather than release all the files, because that way we can bury it and try to run out the clock. That says to me a lot of crap. Mossad? Possible? Definitely some stuff that nobody wants us to see. Probably big donors. This was Thomas Massie earlier.
Sorry, last question from me. What additional information are you looking to get beyond the 33,000 pages? What is actually out there that the administration is withholding right now?
Well, how about this? This is the flight logs. They're withholding who was on these planes. Like, this is a document that's publicly available. Go find it on their website. They are redacting things to prevent embarrassment. They're not redacting things to protect victims. And in the process of preventing embarrassment, they're hiding some criminals.
Embarrassment to the president?
No, embarrassment to rich and powerful individuals who are connected to the president. I don't think the president is redacted here. I don't think he's implicated in these files, but I think his donors are. I think his friends are. And I think our own DOJ and government are implicated in this too. So,
abso-freaking-lutely, 100%. It is absolute horseshit. And everybody knows it. And this is disgusting. I've been saying all along, I want to think that America has no part to play in this, but I think it is. I think Uncle Sam was a human trafficker of young girls because, well, opportunity abounds for us to take these opportunities of catching men in very compromising position and blackmailing them potentially into, I don't know, doing things that we want them to do because it's easier than just invading or doing something else. So we might as well do that. Getting them to give money, vote a certain way, whatever needed to be done. And I would like to think that countries that we work with, allies, aren't involved. But the reality is, I think we all know that too is bullshit. And we know what we're talking about. So here we are. And if you're protecting people, to me, you're as culpable as anything else. You're playing this game. Who are you protecting? Why are you protecting them? I think we all deserve to know. You started this. Now you don't want it. You sat there today after these women, and I've got like a mashup here of them talking right there on the Capitol about their experience and how frustrated that they are.
Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. To say that it's a hoax is just not, please humanize us. I would like Donald J. Trump and every person in America and around the world to humanize us, to see us for who we are and to hear us for what we have to say.
The abuse began. He told me to keep it secret. He manipulated me with quid pro quo I did not consent to, but I felt I had no one to turn to. He was too powerful. I was just one of the many young women trapped in his orbit. I was even taken on a trip to Africa with former President Bill Clinton and other notable figures. In those moments, I realized how powerless I was. If I spoke out, who would believe me? Who would protect me? Epstein himself was the most powerful leader of our country. Epstein surrounded himself, with the most powerful leaders of our country and the world. He abused not only me, but countless others, and everyone seemed to look away. The truth is, Epstein had a free pass. He bragged about his powerful friends, including our current president, Donald Trump. It was his biggest brag, actually.
And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors.
Yeah. And that's going to happen. And everybody's going to say, well, we're going to have to discredit them. We're going to have to say it's a hoax and it was the Democrats and they've got to them and they're all of this stuff. That's a bunch of crap. These women got absolutely destroyed by dirty, nasty men who did horrible things to them, who preyed upon the weak, people who didn't have a lot, people that were essentially as vulnerable as you get. And now, when they think they've got an opportunity, they're, for a lack of a better term, getting screwed again by the powerful. That is bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. So the president's there today. He's got the president of Poland in, and somebody asked him a question about what's going on outside.
Mr. President, right now there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who is sponsoring a discharge position to get the House to vote on releasing those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you...
I can't listen to it. It's bullshit. It is, man. I'm going to call it as I see it. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm watching it. It's like, it's a hoax. We got all the stuff. We're crushing down on crime. Oh, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. You know, it's bullshit. You go, well, we gave them all these pages last night, 33,000 pages. You know how many of them are new? Less than 1%, less than 1,000 actually are new. And most of those they're nothing. They're nothing. It's crap. Everybody knows it's crap. People need to call people on the carpet and think about this. If you've got young kids, think about the horrors that these women went through by dirty, scummy men who took advantage of them, who used them, who abused them, and then tossed them away. They didn't get their chance in court. They didn't. And for him to come out and say it's a hoax, that's such shit right there. That's such a cop-out. That is. And you know what? We should all be frustrated. If you care enough, if it matters, you want to talk about, look, law and order. There are men that did horrific fucking things who used young girls. I have a 15-year-old at home. My stepdaughter. I have a 7-year-old daughter. I have a 16 and a half-year-old daughter. I could not imagine them going through that. And you want to talk about the fact that you cleaned up an area of crime and look at all the things you've done and all this great. No, I'm sorry. You want to talk about crime? You want to talk about we're the kids. We worry about the kids. We worry about, transgenders in the bathrooms and all this kind of stuff. And this is like, it's a fucking hoax. You know what? It's such bullshit and such a cop-out. That is an absolute cop-out. You got your friends on there. You got a lot of powerful people on there. And who knows what else. But I do know this. The more you tell people not to look at shit, the more that people are going to look at shit. And it's going to get louder and louder. And this wasn't something brought up by the Democrats. This was brought up by many people out there who support you wholeheartedly. And some of them will absolutely, no matter what you say or do. I was dealing with somebody today who told me, and I quote, this was crazy, Trump is untouchable and he's unearthly. And I thought, wow. I often wondered, who did drink the fucking Kool-Aid? Not at gunpoint. And there are those people out there. And I like a lot of what Trump does. And I think the guy wants to see a world in peace. I think he's super pro-business. I think he wants to look over and freaking keep our borders safe and secure. I absolutely love that stuff. I got no problem with that. But don't blow smoke. Don't. And that's what this was. And it was a slap in the face of those women out there who went through hell by powerful people, probably people that we all recognize. They went through hell. They got tossed aside. And alas, here we are. And you're looking at them saying, it's a hoax. What do you say? But we do know this. Tell people not to look. They're going to continue to look. And this isn't going anywhere. And I said that for a long time. And I don't give a shit if it freaking crumbles our government. I don't care if it crumbles Israel's government or somebody else's, because this shit gets out, which I doubt it's ever going to. And they'll run out the clock. But that shows you one thing. They're as guilty as deep state as anybody else if you want to play that game. All right, I'm going to bounce, go eat some dinner. Got to get up early. I'm going to be on with my show tomorrow, 6 to 9, and then I'll be on with the Chicks on the Right as well, live, filling in. If you have a chance, go to ChadBensonShow.com. Check out all the stuff we're doing. You guys have a blessed and amazing night, and I will